Hello interwebs! Just wanted to put another vlog out there before Vita. Actually, I really enjoyed doing the first one, so I figured I'd do another follow-up. Also wanted to talk about, really excited today, midnight release of The Dark Knight Rises. But sadly, I will not be able to go see it tonight. I work at 5:30 in the morning on weekdays, so there is no way that I will be able to do that without passing out halfway through fixing somebody's computer. And so we're going to have to put that off. I am going Friday, so it's the day after, not that bad. My nerd cred will not die. Other things I'd like to talk about in nerd news, really interesting. Wednesday is always New Comic Book Day, and so I wanted to talk about a couple things that are coming out that if you do read comic books, you should be looking into, in my opinion. And the first one in that would be Saga, right here, with the little Fooly Cooly looking guy on the front. And Saga is actually put out by Brian K. Vaughan, who did Y the Last Man. He has never let me down on the story, and the new story right now, it's only on chapter 5, it's only on issue 5, and so definitely worth picking up, really easy to catch up on, really interesting story, is absolutely fantastic, beautifully written, and then Fiona Staples, who does the artwork for it, is also absolutely fantastic, very creative art, very creative word bubbles, if you can believe it, a lot of offset writing, a lot of internal dialogue that is set apart from the regular thought bubbles and regular styles of the comic book art, and so you should check that out. What I would like to talk about is Rachel Rising, which is the new comic being put out by Terry Moore, who is probably best known for doing Strangers in Paradise, which is a beautiful story about two girls who are roommates and best friends who end up falling in love with each other. Really beautifully done romantic comic that is finished now, and so it's worth picking up. There are a lot of issues, but you can pick them up, and I think it's like 5 thick collections that's really worth checking out. Really interesting. It's not just a love story. There's a lot of underlining, very emotional story. I came into a comic book store one time, and one of my close friends, he was sitting there reading. He was just in tears reading this comic, and I'm like, "Dude, are you okay?" And he says, like, and he couldn't even get words out. It was absolutely beautiful. But Rachel Rising, totally different kind of story. It's about a girl who dies and then comes back, has no idea why she came back or why she died, but she is still dead. She has no heartbeat, no brain pattern, nothing like that. Kind of zombie-ish, but completely functional. And no idea what's going to happen yet. It is on chapter 9 now. And Terry Moore plays everything very close to the vest, so you never know what's going to happen until he decides to reveal it for sure. There are rarely any clues. Really worth checking out. Definitely worth picking up. The last one is issue 1 of Captain Marvel reboot has come out. A lot of people have been talking about it. I have not had the chance to read it yet. I just picked it up today. I'm a little disappointed. The picture of the character, as you can see, is kind of just another big-breasted female superhero, which makes me kind of sad. There's been a little bit of turnaround within the comic book art area when it comes to just typical big-breasted females and just kind of chucking out stuff to a more male audience when there are so many women that actually read comics and write about comics and do pop culture blogs on it, like the Mary Sue or Amy Radcliffe. And also check those two people out if you can. The Amy Sue website is really good. It's a feministic website on comic books and geek pop culture and how it's influenced women and society. And then Amy Radcliffe runs a blog called Geek with Curves. She's also Amy Geek on Twitter, does a lot of pop culture stuff. Really, really interesting. But I've heard nothing but good things about the new Captain Marvel. It's supposed to be a fantastic story. I flipped through it. The art is stunningly beautiful. Definitely worth checking out if just for the art alone. The writer for it, let's see. It looks like Kelly Sue DeConnick is doing the writing and Dexter Soy is the artist. The writer, I talked to the guy at the comic book store today. He said that she's done some absolutely fantastic female characters. And so I'm really excited about that, and the artwork's absolutely gorgeous. Other than nerd news today, not a whole lot to talk about. I would like to let you all know that I am starting a blog, that this will probably be more of a sounding board for. It'll be kind of the summary of what I'm going to write about, kind of a sounding board to get my thoughts together, and then the blog itself having more of the complete story, the complete articles, and then any research that I've done, annotations, stuff like that. And so you get the full story and the outline, and it really fleshed out on the blog. It is going to be a pop culture blog, a lot of nerd stuff on there, so comic books, movies, TV shows, stuff like that, artists, all that fun stuff. The first article will probably be on Bronies. If you don't know what those are, they're actually male fans of the My Little Pony Friendship Magic show, which is an interesting kind of move in society where male fans have come out for a show that's mainly made for little girls. I read an article on it put out by a school teacher that was linked by Amy Radcliffe, who I mentioned earlier, about male fans of the My Little Pony show and why they like it and why they're so obsessed and kind of identify with the different personalities of the main ponies within the show. It's really interesting. It's a really kind of interesting move for the male side of pop culture to be interested in a show that's mainly made for, I think, like 9-year-old little girls. I'm not going to lie, I've seen a couple episodes of it after reading the article, and it's mildly addicting. It's got just little dorky things in it that you wouldn't really notice unless you're a total nerd. For instance, the last scene of the first episode is done exactly like the last scene of the first Star Wars movie, almost shot for shot. It's absolutely fantastic. Somebody linked it up and matched it up to showing them side by side so you can actually see how they are. It's really interesting. I'll probably post the links to it when I write the blog. The blog is going to be Cthulhu Called is going to be the domain name. I'm really excited about doing it. I hope you all visit it. And after that, I have no idea. We won't post until next week sometime because I've got to get the domain name. I've got to get it all set up. So definitely looking forward to that, though. I hope you guys will all check it out. And other than that, I believe that's it. I hope you guys are having a great day. And I'll talk to you later, interwebs.